Hi, I'm Bree Johnson, and we're going to do one of my most favorite movements for the psoas muscles. All you'll need is a strap. If you don't have a yoga bolster, you can also use a block, pillow, blanket, anything that's going to help lift your pelvis up. Now, this is going to get into all of the nooks and crannies around your hips joints, all around the hip flexor muscles. It will feel amazing. So let's do it together here. So first thing that you're going to need is, well, first thing you'll do, you'll have your strap nearby, and then you're going to have your bolster or whatever it is that you're going to use to prop your pelvis up. First, lie down onto the floor, like so, and then lift your pelvis up so that you can slide your support underneath you. Now you want to range yourself so that you feel really supportive here on the pelvis, so that when you bring your knees into your chest, that you don't feel like you're going to fall off the bolster. And then grab your strap, and you're going to take the strap around 1 foot, and you'll extend your leg up toward the ceiling. So now this isn't always such a nice stretch for those tight hamstrings, but we get to multitask in this. So one leg gets to enjoy some amazing hamstring stretching, while your other leg gets to enjoy the beautiful deep hip opening. So what we're going to do first is take a couple deep breaths and let your extended leg rise up toward the ceiling. Shoulders relaxed. Big breath in, big breath out. And then on your next exhale, we're going to take the bent knee and you're going to stretch that leg out toward the wall in front of you. Your foot's not going all the way to the ground. You're going to try to keep your leg at about the same height as your pelvis. So not so high like this, because if this extended leg stays any higher, you're still going to get that work into the hip flexors, and we want to actually get a little bit more of a passive extension here. So this is why we have our pelvis up onto a block or bolster. Now you're going to feel that one leg that's in the air is going to stretch up toward the ceiling. The other leg just keeps gently reaching. You could almost feel that it's not just reaching out from the hip joint, but reaching deep from within your core, like so. Now you'll breathe like that for a couple more breaths, and then you're going to start to sweep the leg that's in the air from the left to the right, left to the right. So you're sweeping the legs side by side, and you'll notice, and this is going to be a different experience for everybody, there's this interesting balance between work and release. There will be effort, and then within that effort, a little bit of a nicer, deeper feeling of letting go of some of that accumulated tension that we keep deep into our hip joints, deep into the psoas muscles. Good. So you're gently sweeping from side to side. As you're sweeping that leg from side to side, you're going to try to keep the extended leg, the one that's up toward the ceiling, you're going to try to keep that toward the ceiling, so it doesn't move as well, right? So your pelvis will actually stay kind of level or kind of still while your other leg extends. And breathe. And then let's switch. So I recommend, because this is more of a tutorial, when you're doing this on your own, I recommend doing this for a little bit longer. But for now, we're going to switch. We're going to bring our foot up toward the ceiling, get that nice little hamstring stretch. Then that bent knee comes into the chest. Good. Take a few breaths here. I always like to wiggle out my toes while I'm here. And then I'm going to extend the bent knee to the wall in front of me, really getting nice and long through both of my legs. Breathing deep. And when you're using a strap, again, it's always nice to check in that your shoulders aren't scrunching up to your ears. Keep your shoulders relaxed. And then I'm going to start to sweep side to side, side to side. It is so good, this movement. One of my all-time favorites. It's such a really effective way to reduce some of that accumulation of tension that you've got deep in your hip joints, deep around those hip flexors. So nice. Your legs are going to be 3 inches longer when you come out of this. Well, you'll at least feel that way, right? So we're still going to breathe. Try to keep your extended leg up to the ceiling as you sweep from side to side. So good. So again, you'll do that. I highly recommend doing this for longer, sweeping side to side. You can play around. Maybe you go really slowly. Maybe you add a little bit more speed. Each version, no matter what you do in terms of the rate in which you move that bottom leg, will create a little bit of a different experience. So I like to find a little bit of a rate in my movement of this extended leg where I'm still working to move my leg, but at the same time, there's a little bit of momentum going. So my leg's just sweeping within its sense of momentum. Okay, and then you can let that heel rest to the floor, release the strap off of the other leg, and it may feel good to let both of your legs extend out like this with your pelvis on the bolster. It may not feel good that way. So you listen to what's right for your body, and you can also just do this with the knees a little bit bent. And then I recommend resting, breathing, and noticing how your hip joints feel, how the hip flexors feel after doing this amazing stretch. So I hope you enjoy that. I highly recommend doing it a couple times during your week. Do it daily, especially if you've been sitting in a chair for a long time. Do this and it'll make a huge difference. Thanks for joining along with me.